Well, you see, Henry, sandwiches come from a very long past. And you see, they have marked the equivalent stage in the history of sandwiches, you see.
Sandwiches have always played an important part in the history, and I believe that the sandwich eaten at the deli in Serbia is one of the most significant sandwiches in the history of everything. So basically, it all started on June 28th, 1914, when the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, Archbishop Franz Ferdinand, he came to visit for the first time with his wife, because you see, to make a speech or something, I don't know. Anyway,
the Black Hand, on the crucial day of June 28, 1914, they set off to kill a guy.
Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
They decided to kill a man named Archduke
Franz Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand, you see?
the Serbian terrorist group called the Black Hand, and they were planning on assassinating him.
You see, the Black Hand is a very social organization between a bunch of people who like to kill people, you see. Yes.
Gavrilo Princip was who you might call the leader of the group.
Then you started talking about other things that were not meant to be talked about. He talked about death, a lot, and freedom. Said that he was a freedom fighter, in fact, which led him to join the Black Hand.
So, they were all lined up on the street and the convoy went by. One of the members of the group hit the concussion pin on its grenade and threw it. Unfortunately, he forgot it had a 10-second fuse on it, so it exploded when he was much out of harm's way.
After he walked away from his buddy throwing a grenade and it totally missing because he sucks.
Confused, they all ran to the park, except for the stupid guy who threw the grenade. He attempted suicide, but pretty much screwed up everything and ended up getting arrested and died of tuberculosis. Anyway, he was so confused that he went to eat a sandwich at a deli. Now you see, little did he know that this sandwich would change everything.
He walked to a deli, you see, because he got hungry. Hungry for a sandwich. Once he had devoured his sandwich, you see, he left.
So, for some strange reason, Franz Ferdinand decided to go back. So, as Gavrilo was walking out of the deli, the chauffeur just happened to make a wrong turn and went down the street in front of the deli.
once he was full, he noticed to cross eyes with Archduke
Franz Ferdinand.
Once he had crossed eyes, he knew it was time to strike. That sandwich had filled him with so much anger inside that it just caused him to yank his gun out of his pocket, aim carefully, and shot him.
He took out his Browning pistol and shot Franz Ferdinand at close range and shot his wife,
Sophie.
and their unborn child. I believe his name was Mark.
If it wasn't for the sandwich, World War I would have never started, as you see. And if World War I never started, then neither would have the trench warfare, and neither would World War II. People wouldn't even have thought of World War III, you know.
This sandwich is so significant, it's not even funny. It's even more significant than the grilled cheese sandwich with the image of the Virgin Mary in it. And that sandwich is very, very important, let me tell you that. Because you see, no other sandwich has really had a greater effect after it, because the sandwich essentially caused World War I, and World War I caused World War II, and it all snowballed from there. Basically, the world would be a much different place if that sandwich was never eaten by a guerrilla primitive.
Well, you see, there was a time where a man named King George II ruled the land. You see, he was a very wise man. He made great choices in life, yet he had a few problems with them.
King George II of Great Britain was a great king. He was also, he liked to stick to strict schedules.
He was extremely, how should I say this? He was extremely fat. One time, on a delectable day, he got really hungry because you know how fat people are. They're hungry all the time. This fat man was hungry for something he'd been craving for a long time. This fat man wanted a sandwich.
Little did he know that this sandwich actually contained roast beef, and red meat upset his stomach. So he was stricken with a horrible case of the runs later that evening.
This guy, he really had to go or something.
Little did he know that that bathroom sealed his death.
Watched him sit on the toilet, hour after hour after hour. It was horrible.
Some witnesses say he went quite peacefully. No swearing, no shouting, anything like that.
Curse word at one after another, hour after hour. It was horrible! So finally, it got quiet.
While he was on the toilet, he was releasing himself so hard he had an aortic dissection, and it fell to his death off of his toilet, where he was not discovered for another 2 hours by one of his servants.
He was so quiet, his face beat red. No. Yes. No. Yes. Beat red. No more curse words. No more disgusting noises. No more smelly room. It was over. It was finally over. Yes!
But still, horrible death at the cold of a sandwich, and that's one of the reasons why sandwiches are so great, because they can bring people together or tear them apart.
Screaming out curse words after another.
The streets were literally rivers of blood with charred corpses floating down and pieces of limbs and heads flying about all willy-nilly.
Screaming curse word one after another after another. It was horrible.
I believe his name was Mark. Anyway, anyway,
All the rats just burned. They all went to hell. Where they belong.
How do you feel, baby?
this is not... You can't be serious. This interview is not going well. You see me, I'm a bloody sandwich historian. See my degree over there? That's from Princeton. I got my master's and my professorate degree in sandwich and sandwich history. I have no bloody time for this. Stop messing around. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I got this.
Okay.